Let's take a snapshot. Not of the past, not of history, but of today's modern socialist left. The dysfunction is complete. The unhinged behavior, out in the open. And all of it boils down to this. You can never be extreme enough. Even in New York City, one of the bluest strongholds on the map, the left is eating itself. Zoran Mamdani, one of the most radically progressive candidates we've seen, is barely 2 weeks into his political limelight, and already he's being protested by the very same crowd that propped him up. This is the modern Democratic Party, a chaotic, broken machine that's breeding a generation that doesn't even know how to function within the bounds of basic society. Let's roll the clip and break this insanity down.
What do you say? I have a question. What do you say about politicians that constantly reaffirm Israel's right to exist? Because people like me are constantly attacked by politicians for standing up for Palestine, and you are constantly defending the right for Israel to exist. My family is in Palestine right now, constantly under attack, and I'm hearing you say free Palestine, but also Israel has the right to exist. Don't be hypocritical. Don't be hypocritical and say free Palestine when you're also defending the right for Israel to exist. It does not have the right to exist. It does not have the right to exist. It's not your land to say it has the right to exist.
There it is. Loud, aggressive, completely unhinged. This is the Frankenstein monster the far left built, and now they can't control it. It's no longer just Biden, Kamala, or Pelosi facing backlash. Now it's AOC. Now it's Zoran. They're all targets. Total ideological cannibalism. And while that circus plays out, Bernie Sanders hits the stage with this gem.
The Republican Party has not just become a right-wing extremist party. In many cases, it's become like a Stalinist party, a cult of the individual. And what the party is about now is that Trump says something, and if you have an independent thought, if you disagree with Mr. Trump, if you think maybe what he's proposing doesn't work for your constituents, you're out of here. You raise your voice, and in 5 minutes, they will be announcing a primary to your election. So what happened is Tillis thought that this was a bad piece of legislation for North Carolina. He's right, it was. And the result of that is Trump said, good, we're going to primary you. You have the same thing in the House, with the very few people who are prepared to disagree with Trump. The Republican Party people are just afraid to dissent. And all you have to do is say, I love President Trump. I will do anything and everything he says. Hey, that's what being a candidate in the Republican Party is today. Pretty pathetic.
Oh, please. Bernie Sanders, and the man who literally romanticizes socialism, now calling the GOP Stalinist? That's not just projection. That's gaslighting on a historic scale. It's the ultimate reverse card. We're not the extremists. You are. While they openly support government-run industries, DEI grocery stores, and wage war on billionaires, they're calling you the problem. Let's not forget, Bernie is the same guy endorsing Mamdani. The guy pushing Soviet-style grocery stores with taxpayer funding.
City-run grocery stores, I've proposed a pilot program of 1 store in each borough. These are 5 stores in total. The total cost of this is $60 million. This is less than half the cost of what the city is already set to spend on a subsidy program for corporate supermarkets that has no guarantee of cheaper prices or collective bargaining agreements or even accepting
SNAP or WIC. So you're not looking at some like Soviet Union grocery stores on every corner that are going to be run by the government?
No, what I'm looking at is how to solve the very clear twin crises of affordability when you go to the grocery store.
Yeah, right. That's how it starts. First, 1 store, then competitors can't survive, then the state expands, then the government controls distribution. That's not progress. That's economic suicide. History has already taught us how this ends. Shortages, dependency, poverty. But don't say that out loud. Because apparently facts are fascist. And just when you think it can't get worse, here comes the classic socialist battle cry.
Do you think that billionaires have a right to exist?
I don't think that we should have billionaires because, frankly, it is so much money in a moment of such inequality. And ultimately, what we need more of is equality across our city and across our state and across our country.
Of course not. Because wealth is evil, right? Because success must mean corruption. Let's demonize billionaires, drive out innovation, shut down growth, and turn New York City into a communist hellhole. Forget Silicon Valley. Let's go full Havana. They act like having billionaires is a failure of capitalism. Reality check. The lack of billionaires is a glowing red flag. You want no billionaires? Just look at Venezuela, North Korea, or Haiti. And yes, you might still find billionaires there. They're called warlords. At this point, it's just exhausting. They want to turn America into a utopia made of Hamas flags drag queen story hour, state-run grocery stores, and Instagram influencers screaming about the revolution. And we're supposed to be the extremists? We're the Stalinists? Really? The truth is, this revolution isn't about equity or justice. It's about control. It's about resentment disguised as morality. It's about chaos wearing a mask called progress. And that's the game they're playing. Burn it all down and blame you for holding a match. Anyway, that's it for this one. If you're just as baffled by this lunacy as I am, hit that like button. Subscribe for more, because this insanity isn't going anywhere. I'll catch you in the next one.